my friends. All right, my friends, how are we all doing? We are doing the full-time reactions after our game against Torino. We win, apparently. We won. We won 2-1. Well, we will break this down, of course. We will break this down. We will talk about this. And this was not a good performance. This was not a good performance. And I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, I will. There will be some controversial stuff that we'll discuss today because it needs to be in it needs to be discussed basically. But let's start off by it's just strange, it's strange how poor we are after playing such a good game against Dynamo Kiev, and then we are playing at home in the Serie A. It's against a very poor Torino side, but we end up turning this around and winning this. But the approach was wrong. We needed to, as we usually do, we needed to fight back. And finally, this time we actually got that win at the end, right at the end of the game. I have many issues. I have so many issues today. It's with this team and with the lineup and how we were playing. The fact is that we are still struggling to gain that consistency. Now we actually got the win in Champions League, and now we have the win in the Serie A. But the performance level was crap. It was crap. And I would just say it straight away, and we will go to the player ratings and whatever, but I would just say it straight away. Please, do not praise Cuadrado. Please. Yes, he scored one, even though he was offside, thanks to Bonucci. By the way, if Bonucci hadn't been there, it wouldn't been a goal because Lianco was on his way to block that shot from Cuadrado. So actually, it wouldn't have been a goal anyway. So I don't understand the fuss. It's he scored because Bonucci blocked the run of Lianco. That's it. And the first assist to McKennie, it was okay. I'll say it was a good cross. Let's say it like it is. It was a good cross from Cuadrado. But the second one, how many crosses did he have today? I need to check this. I need to find this. Probably a bit early. Probably a bit early already to look at the stats, but let's see. Maybe we have it already. I know it would be amazing. It would be amazing if they have this the stats already. Let's see. And it's I'm just saying, because if Cuadrado gets 20 crosses or 15 or 10 crosses, one of them eventually is going to turn up to being either assist or a good cross. It's let's see here. So crosses, Juan Cuadrado had 9 crosses. Okay, 9. There was only 2 accurate according to whoscored.com. This is what I'm looking at right now. According to whoscored.com, Cuadrado had 9 crosses, 2 of them were accurate. Okay, and okay. So both of them actually ended up being an assist. Both of them were assists, which is okay. But 9 crosses and only 2 good crosses. Luckily for us, it was 2 assists as well. So conversion level of those good crosses was actually perfect. It was 100%. But what about the other 7? What about the other 7 crosses that he had today? And this is what I'm going to talk about it right now. Well, a bit later, because when a player does something great, we praise the guy and we forget about everything bad that he's done. But don't forget that he was the one who was dispossessed poorly. And Zaza, and I think it was Belotti, who was 2 against 1 and only a poor ball from Simone Zaza. Luckily for us, well, poor ball from him, and we could have been 2-0 behind. But nobody's talking about it now, because Cuadrado made 2 assists and 1 goal that was disallowed. As I said, the goal should never have been there because Lianco would have blocked the shot. 1. 2, when you have 9 crosses and 2 of them are accurate, well, some of them eventually gonna be accurate crosses. My question is, why is Torino allowing Cuadrado to cross? Okay, they know he will cross, so why are they allowing this to happen? So this, actually, in my opinion, is a poor from Torino, but I'll take it. I'll take it. We win 2-1, 3 points, no matter how we get it. But the performance from the team, not only from Cuadrado. Enough of talking about Cuadrado, but talking about the team's performance, it's crap, guys. Really, we have so many issues. I still hate that our midfield, that we're playing with 2 in midfield and not 3. When McKennie arrived, something changed. I did not understand why Chiesa was playing on the left, but then again, of course, when Cuadrado is playing on the right and he gets 2 assists, we will shut up about it, because well, Chiesa was actually okay on the left, even though I think he would have been much better from the right. But that's it. So I didn't get that, and Kulusevski is still poor. I am doubting Kulusevski right now, because, well, it's been a while since I've seen him play well, basically. The Verona game, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was the last one he played well at, and that's just awful. It's amazing. So for me personally, guys, we have much bigger problems than we actually applauding. Well done, Juan Cuadrado. Well done, team, for fighting back. No, but we have much bigger issues. The mentality now was only thanks to those crosses. I didn't see the fighting spirit, to be quite honest. I didn't. There was crosses. I think actually Torino were quite tired. I think actually Torino were super tired. And at the end, they just gave up and they, missed the markings. McKennie was completely unmarked and Bonucci was completely unmarked. So I'm sorry. It's, it's equally, it's not just automatically when we score a goal, it's us being great and them being, default. It's actually a possibility that the things might go crap for them and we are still on the default. So we're actually not that great. It's actually the level of Torino suddenly dropped. So this is why probably we scored. So the issues are still there. We should not look at this win and say, okay, fine, we won. We won our second game in a row. We are now on the roll. We're going to win the league and all that. No, because we have still so many issues. And we will get battering from Barca. I don't think we will win this one. If we will, fine, I will be happy. But this will be a tough game. And then it's away to Genoa, if I'm not mistaken. This will be another tough game. That would be actually much more important game than the Barcelona game in terms of building the confidence, building the personality of players. But we have still so many issues, guys. All right, guys. Let's see in the comment section. We have already a bunch of comments. Nice to see you, Adam. Your slander of Cuadrado is completely unnecessary. Well, there were more shit players than him. Want to proper fullback? Well, I haven't even started, Adam. I haven't even started. But I'm saying this is a perfect example of Cuadrado being Cuadrado. Inconsistent. That's it. But I will get back to other players. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Especially that last one. Don't you worry. But Bonucci was also completely marked with the free header in the first half. I don't think Torino being tired was it. Yeah, well, it could have also been there because we were basically crap. But of course, towards the end of the game, you always get that fighting spirit because we were pushing for that second goal. And of course, more players were in the box. I think it was actually after a corner kick. And this is why. Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Cuadrado. Those 2 crosses were great crosses. Yes, 100% conversion because they were good crosses. Good assists, but what about those other 7? That's my question. What about his bad passes? What about his? I mean, he has a percentage, and this is actually this is also whoscored.com, which I'm just using right now. He played 86.7 percentage passing percentage success. That's not so good. That's not good at all, actually. Well, Adrien Rabiot, 83.8. He was also crap. Federico Chiesa 75%, which was is quite surprising actually. Yeah, but anyway, it's just so silly of us to say that, okay, we're building up on this, we won, we have great confidence, we play great football. No, we didn't. We played like crap. Chiesa and Cristiano up front works. Ramsey and Kulusevski behind if Morata is out. Man, it's anybody's guess. Anybody guess right now. Yeah. Cuadrado should cross much more. But those crosses not Cuadrado's fault. Not saying he good, but 2 assists are pretty good. Why didn't Kulusevski do those crosses or anything at all? Well, Kulusevski didn't play at the wing, Megan, by the way. Kulusevski is, well, yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see anything with Kulusevski that gives me confidence of playing him from the start in the next game. I just don't see it. I can see it. What can he give me? He is a left footer, very much like the Dybala. It looks that way, and they both occupying the same spaces. Maybe they're getting in each other's way. Yeah, and if Cuadrado should cross much more, I think he should cross less, to be quite honest, because those crosses that he misses, that gives Torino opportunity to regroup. And basically, when he crosses a bad cross, we lose the ball. That's what we do. But as soon as he crosses a good cross, well, those 2 crosses that he had today, both players were unmarked. So it's not that hard to cross when you have an unmarked player. Totally unmarked, especially the second goal. I just don't get it. Cuadrado is inconsistent. That's it. And those 2 crosses doesn't make him a consistent player. This is what I'm getting, and this is my point. Okay, but yeah, enough of Cuadrado. Let's move on because we have much more to discuss. If we play, Francesco, if we play with 3-4-1-2 players on the wings, we have to play with natural foot and outside Juve. Well, my friend, preaching to the choir. And I said this on live stream last time after the Dynamo Kiev game. Chiesa on the right works. Totally. Alexandro on the left worked against Dynamo Kiev. I'm not sure if that's going to work again because, again, consistency. Not enough of Cuadrado, but also applies to guys like Chiesa, guys like Alexandro. We need consistency from these guys in order to see that they actually fit the system, that they can actually play on the left or on the right. But it sounds more, this comment, I like this comment, Francesco, thank you, because this sounds so logical. Left footer on the left side, right footer on the right side. It's that simple. Chiesa, he didn't have a great game today, but I think he tried. He tried a lot. Cutting inside, being direct. I don't see that. I wouldn't see that from Cuadrado, to be quite honest. Again, bashing Cuadrado, but it's not the point. Point is, Chiesa is direct, maybe too direct at times. So I would like him to see on the right and on the left. Well, Alexandro is not that direct, not usually, because he was never allowed to go that much forward. And the freedom to roam. Bernardeschi is also there now. So I need to see something else on the left. On the right, I think my top pick is Chiesa. On the left, I'm not sure. Let's see what we have here. What else we got? Chiesa is very direct and sometimes need that sort of play. Yes. Why was Pinsolio red carded? I think it was because, well, it was celebrations. I think actually Orsato, that was his name, was Orsato was handing out reds left, right, and center of that celebration because they basically stormed the pitch. I think actually they destroyed a corner flag or something. I don't know. I don't remember. But I think it was something in regards to the celebration. But really, this is a minor issue. Pinsoglio was never going to play anyway. So maybe we can call up some under 23 goalkeeper for the next game. It really doesn't matter. Pirlo is unwilling to understand that Chiesa must play on the right at the right wing every time he plays. Well, George, yes. But here is the thing. Again, I'm sorry to say, Cuadrado. Because as long as Cuadrado plays the way he plays now, being inconsistent, but at the same time sending those crosses in that are actually key, Chiesa will never get a chance to play consistently on the right flank. And that worries me because we are destroying the talent of Chiesa. We are not allowing him to grow in his favorite position, which is on the right flank, cutting inside, having fun, cross, dribble, quick dribbling, his speed. I think on the left, he will be much more packed because he needs to cut inside. He needs to turn a ball around to his right foot. He will stop his speed. His speed will not be that important. So we kind of relying more on Cuadrado's experience rather than developing Chiesa on the right side. This is why I think this is happening. Whether it's the right thing to do, well, it's up to Pirlo. But today, I'm not so sure it worked that well. It worked for Cuadrado, but for Chiesa, yeah. Dybala not supporting Pavan is in the chat also. Dybala not supporting Cristiano Ronaldo, except Chiesa. No one is supporting Cristiano Ronaldo front. Well, Cristiano was poor today. Period. He got the ball. Supporting. Nobody supported Dybala. Nobody supported. Our midfield is crap, my friend. Our midfield is so poor. We have nobody who's capable of creating from the midfield. This is why I like when McKennie entered the pitch. He's also a direct player. Running into the box, heading in for 1-1. Imagine, I didn't see Rabiot in there. Maybe he was there, I don't know. But I rarely see Bentancur there. I don't think they have that kind of mentality, that kind of power. McKennie is just all raw power, Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the point is, it's not about supporting. What do we mean supporting Cristiano? He got the ball tons of times. And, I mean, he's playing on the left side. So, of course, Chiesa will be supporting the guy because Chiesa is basically hugging Cristiano throughout the game because they're occupying almost the same space. But today was not the night from Cristiano. It's just let's be fair. Let's be fair. And it's not because he's not being supported today. I think he got enough support. And, of course, if you're gonna feed Cristiano all night, well, I'm not so sure if we would win this game tonight because, well, it would be very easy for Torino to exploit that. We just mark Cristiano and done. Let's see. Pancaiki, Dybala, and Kulusevski cannot play together. To be honest, yeah, it looks that way. It looks that way, my friend. It looks that way. Unfortunately, it pains me to say so. Neither of them are working. Even though if you play them together, if you play them alone, if you play Dybala alone without Kulusevski, he is not working. If you play Kulusevski without Dybala, he's not working either because Kulusevski played. I think he played actually without Dybala in certain games, and they just don't work apart or together. So yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good. Maybe we should do something about it. Well, what? I don't know. If we are benching both of those guys, yeah, we are in trouble just because they are not good enough. Then we are basically in trouble. Why? Because, well, we have no other option. We have Morata and Cristiano up front. That's it. And Ramsey, who is constantly injured. And when one of those three guys is unavailable, one of those two guys, Dybala and Kulusevski, need to step up. And when neither of them are working, well, how can you expect them to suddenly switch on the light, basically? Dybala not good today, says Pietro P98. Yeah, that's I agree with that totally. First half was really bad. Etsa Armuda. Second half we got better. Now we got better. Right choice of subs. I love how we are fighting until the end. Fino alla fine, indeed. Mentality of champions. Yes, but is it though? Is it the mentality, or is it basically that Torino got tired towards the end of the game? And, well, they decided to just close down shop and hoping for the best. That's also a thing. This is why I said this a couple of days ago before the Dynamo Kiev game. But I said I want them to suffer. I want them to suffer to win because I want to see the fighting spirit. I got that today, so we'll see if they can build up from this, from the spirit perspective. Performance is still crap, but now they actually believe can start believing in themselves. Now we can actually believe that we can win the games towards the end of the game at the fino alla fine time. So this fino alla fine mentality is not being imprinted into Bentancur, into Rabiot, into Chiesa, into guys like Kulusevski. Those guys still need to learn this. So this is why this moment right here, where we actually win 2-1 towards the end of the game, they will look at this and think, we are actually fighting towards the end of the game. We're not giving up. We are finding solutions. We are working together to win. So in terms of mentality, this is a good thing. But the performance, basic performance, how we started the game, how it developed, why we were down 1-0, that's also on us. And that is also something that we need to be working on. Let's see. Fino alla fine, indeed, from Yash Kale. Nice to see. Juve seems overwhelmed by Torino. Wow. Then we're really in trouble if you are overwhelmed by mighty Torino. It never happens if just players are bad. It happens when the tactics are totally off. Well, it could be a combination. It could be a combination of both. It's frightening if it is the case that we are overwhelmed by Torino. Well, and we gotta hand it to Andrea Bellotti, beast up front. He was the whole attack for the guys. He drew fouls. He was fighting for the ball. He was really tough to crack. De Ligt even struggled with the guy. So, if it weren't for Bellotti, then you would be probably more comfortable. Maybe not. I don't know. By the way, did Lukic, why wasn't he sent off? Studs up on Chiesa, was it? Or Dybala? I'm not sure. I think it was Chiesa. Wow. Only yellow. Just came on the pitch. Just straight yellow. Review this on the VAR screen, please. Studs up right into the ankle. That's a red, man. That is a red. Poor from Orsato. Poor. Chris already giving out the player ratings. Sheer 10-19. Dybala needs to sit 4.5. Yeah. We'll get back to that, my friend. We'll get back to that. This was a crappy performance, man. Pashat Depe. Juve got lucky. How can we win Scudetto with such performance? Well, we cannot, for sure. We cannot win a Scudetto based on this. But what I'm saying is we are maybe at the start of something in terms of mentality, never give up mentality. This is what I was lacking against Benevento. I got that today. But performance-wise, as you say, this was crap. I completely agree. And this needs to be fixed. But it's already 5th of December, and I'm still waiting for consistency. Thing is, we played with I think we made 4 subs or 4 or 5 subs from the Dynamo Kiev game until today. So, rotation is always going to be a factor when we think about the performance, because you can't expect those guys to perform when they didn't know how to perform, basically. I rarely see a good performance from Bentancur. He did play against Dynamo Kiev, actually, so he was supposed to do better, but he didn't today. So then again, inconsistency. Studs up on Bentancur, that could be. Yes, that could be. I don't understand why it wasn't the red. Why that wasn't the red? Yeah. Really, like I said, the Dybala and Ronaldo together was a disaster. Yes, it was today. But it's also very strange. Last season, we talked about this with Willie. Last season was a different tactics, and they proved that they can work together. But this season, Dybala and Cristiano are not clicking together. Why? I don't know. Dybala is hiding. Dybala is nowhere near the form that he was supposed to be in. He is just not visible. Very quiet again. And that's it. We stop that development of that relationship between Ronaldo and Dybala. We didn't build up on this. As soon as Morata came on and Dybala was injured and Morata actually performed, he scores on every single game almost. it's hard to bench Morata. So this is why Morata and Ronaldo partnership must basically flourish for the good of the team. I don't care about this player's performance as long as my team wins, to be quite honest. But it pains me that Paulo Dybala cannot contribute with his skill, with his with his level, because I know what Paulo Dybala can do. Unfortunately, he cannot get this out. Is this a mental thing? Could be. If this is a tactical thing, could very well maybe. We don't know. But it hurts us in the long run if Morata or Cristiano are unavailable. But if both are available and banging in goals for us, I couldn't care less about what Dybala is doing. But one of them is, if it's unavailable, then Dybala needs to be there, on form, sharp. And that goes, the same thing goes for Morata. I don't care. For Cristiano even, I don't care what happens to Cristiano as long we are winning. I don't care what happens to Morata as long as we are winning as a team. Of course, it's much more easy, much more logical, much more understanding when we are winning based on the performance of other players. So it's rarely that we are winning with crap performance from Morata, Dybala, and Cristiano. Somebody need to play great, right? So it doesn't always has to be that case. But for me, the team comes first and then the player's performance. Because at the end of the day, it's, I'm a fan of Juve, not a single player. The Destroyer 220, ciao. You guys with those crazy usernames, I love it. I love it. Manoj, it was very bad for Ronaldo. It's not his day, but our team had fight even when when our player is not on his day. Yeah, the same thing happened for Dynamo Kiev. He was also very off, even though he scored. But it was another off day for Cristiano, but we won without Cristiano. Let's put it that way. And that's also a good sign that we are growing in terms of confidence that we can make it without Cristiano. But when tough gets going, this is when I want Cristiano to be on fire. Against big teams like Milan, Merda, Barca. If we face Chelsea, whoever in the Champions League knockout stages, it doesn't matter who we face. Cristiano needs to be there because he will be vital. Because for heaven's sake, this is a big game player, Cristiano. So yeah. So today it was not his day, and it's okay. It's okay to have an off day. He's human after all. I think Pirlo should try Ronaldo, Dybala, Morata trio, as Morata and Dybala are close friends and Ronaldo can play the senior role. Pirlo has tried many things. Why not just give it a try, Saban? I think he's tried too much. I think we should focus on one thing, basically growing the partnership that actually works, which is Morata and Cristiano, which leaves Dybala in a hard position, in a tough spot, basically. Because where do you actually play the guy? We could try all three of them with Dybala being deep, because at the end of the day, he will be sitting deep. So maybe this is why those two are suffering together now, because Dybala is dropping way too deep and Cristiano doesn't get any support from Dybala. So if you have Morata in front of Dybala and Cristiano next to him, maybe this will work. But Dybala is not physical enough to track back and work as a third midfield, because that's what essentially the first position is here. And let me bring this up. I love this. Is an app I downloaded yesterday. All my troubles is so far away. All right. Can you see it? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I'm sorry, Saban. Let me just remove your comment, because then you can see clearly what happened today. So this was our lineup. And if we have Dybala in there, he will be essentially becoming... by the way, I don't understand why we played a 4-4-2, because we didn't. We played like this. This was... it was more or less this formation, right? So if we remove Kulusevski and put Dybala in there, and then we get Morata in there. I don't know where Rabiot was gone. Okay, so which means Dybala he will be the third midfielder. So he will need to track back and fight for the ball, like McKennie, in McKennie's case. So this is where I think Dybala will struggle. So this is why I don't think that Dybala will fit in this position right here. He needs to be further up, revealing himself for the defensive duties. Because those two guys, doesn't matter, either it's Arthur or Rabiot or Bentancur or McKennie, one cannot defend. It needs to be two or even three at times. Otherwise, opposition teams will crush us. So this is why I think we should be sticking into this formation right here. We have three midfielders. We don't have Dybala in there. We have McKennie in there, for example. Oh, come on, man. There we go. Who will be the runner? I'm not so sure if Rabiot should be in there. Maybe not. Maybe one of those two, either McKennie or Rabiot. But I need somebody here who can be the box-to-box, the offensive player with offensive attributes. So maybe we should go out and get somebody. Let's say we get Awar. Let's say we get somebody there who has the qualities go forward. This is the player I want right here. Rabiot was poor today, for sure. So this is why I don't think, this is why, to summarize, I don't think this is where I think Dybala is best, because we've tried it. We tried it previously with Allegri, if I'm not mistaken, and it didn't work very well. So here, no, probably much more up here. Yeah, this is me. Boom. Okay, let's see. That Singo kid, yes, Daniel is in the chat. Nice to see you, Daniel. That Singo kid embarrassed 100 million worth of players on his flank. Yes, but that's also so typical. This is so typical. You know, it's always when we play a position, a position which is in trouble or we are struggling against them, somebody tends to step up. You know, that Singo guy suddenly stepped up. I think it was last season ago, Sirigu was absolutely insane in front of goal. I remember many, many years ago, it was a goalkeeper called Gillet for, I think it was Belgium goalkeeper Gillet. He played for Torino. And every time we faced Torino, he was absolutely insane. Sorrentino, Kiev goalkeeper, was also absolutely crazy each time we played against them. Many, many, many examples. And not only goalkeepers, also defenders as well. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy how that happens. But it's true. Singo kid was a beast today. Luckily, we, kind of escaped that. If Chiesa or Cristiano doesn't touch the ball doesn't go forward. I totally agree. We are so poor in the final third. Yes, Sabadip, I agree completely. Why? Because I think those two players that you mentioned right now are the two direct players. And by coincidence, neither of them are, neither of them are those in that bag of, the group of people from South America. The Cuadrado, the Bentancur, all those guys. The Dybala. They love to touch the ball for too much. I've said this many, many times. I just feel that they don't have the direction. They don't have the mentality of just don't care and go. Douglas Costa is actually maybe an exception to that rule. He's also South American, but he is freaking direct. Very inconsistent, but direct. So yeah, Chiesa and Cristiano are two direct players in our team. This is why I think they should be playing both at the same time, because otherwise we'll be touching ball, we'll be hugging the ball and playing it along each other, between Bentancur, Dybala, and Cuadrado, and then to Alexandro, and then back to Cuadrado, back to Alexandro, back to Bentancur, back to Dybala. We will never get those direct forward passes, forward runs. Occasionally we have a run from Cuadrado, but very rarely. So it's just, I don't know. We need to play a simple game of football. When you are a direct, you stretch them. You don't wait for space to open up. You open up the space. You don't wait for them to get tired, for them to forget about the open space. You make that space, right? So when you make the run, a defender must follow you. Otherwise, you're screwed because you're a quick player. I'm talking about Chiesa, for example. So one player must follow you. So somebody needs to follow that guy, right? And then when he follows that guy, you have an open space. This is the space you will attack. This is why you need to have two of those guys. If it's one direct player, then it's tough. If you have two, then it's really then this is where it gets really interesting. So yeah, I would love to see both of them at the same time on the pitch for many, many games to come. Dybala needs to see how Alejandro Gomez plays for Atalanta. Interesting. They are so similar to each other, and yet he plays so well even against teams like Liverpool. Yeah, well, Alejandro Gomez has a very free role in Atalanta. He's even all the way down to the central defense and picking up ball and toying. I think actually Alejandro Gomez is better than Dybala in terms of movement, knowing his body, how to pass a player. He is, of course, he's not on the same level as Dybala in terms of finishing, probably. I think Dybala is better, but Alejandro Gomez knows his body very well, how to turn the player, where to find open space. I think he's smarter in terms of moving around the ball and around the pitch, of course. So I like the guy. Rohi, this is a very good take. I like Papu. I like Papu a lot. Unfortunately, that's also an interesting thing. Papu just started, to appear as a great player. I remember him from Catania days. He was just average, and then he really started to wake up. So maybe this is actually the case with Dybala as well. When Dybala is 35, 36, then we will see the real prime Dybala. You never know. It's interesting. Play stop 10 seconds after and then pass. Yes, it's exactly what happens. This is exactly what happens when we have guys that don't know how to attack. Chiesa doesn't care. He just attacks. So, yeah. Ronaldo was an offensive midfield during his start of career Manchester United under Sir Alex. He was winger, I think. He was a winger. He was a very clear winger. He was a dribbling merchant, and he also was the guy who just didn't give a crap. He didn't give a crap at all. He just went for players. He was just step overs, tricks. He got stick for it, but then in the second season he exploded, and in the first season, and so on and so on. But Cristiano started out as a winger because he was fast. He was very fast, and his dribbling was insane. And of course, then he started building up muscle, and then eventually ended up being that crazy goal scorer that he is right now. All right, guys, 38 minutes in, and we need to do the player ratings. Let's see. Let's start off with Wojciech Szczesny. What do we say? We didn't even speak about the game. Let's just briefly tell you what happened. So the first goal came after, brace yourselves, Cuadrado's poor defending. It was a cross that he allowed to happen. Okay? He allowed the cross to happen. Very passive defending. We cleared it through corner kick. Okay? Then they had a corner kick. Very poor defending from Bentancur. Very sloppy. Bonucci was in nowhere land. And Chiesa was basically imitating Bonucci because he was ass defending, like Bonucci always does. And there we go. 1-0 to Torino. Let me remove Wojciech. But before we start on player ratings, I just want to let you guys know this is a fact. It's not me bashing Cuadrado. It's not me bashing Bentancur. It's not me bashing Chiesa. This is what happened. Poor defending from Cuadrado that allowed the cross that we cleared after the corner kick. Poor defending from Bentancur, who allowed Nkulu to turn single-handedly, basically very easily. Very poor defending from Federico Chiesa, who was basically afraid of the ball, which was absolutely crazy to see. I mean, you don't do that. You don't do that at my club. At my club, you sacrifice your nuts to not concede. But, he will learn from this, hopefully. Yeah. All right. Player ratings. Wojciech Szczesny. What do we give him, guys? Well, I'm not so sure if he is at fault for the first goal. I don't think he is. I think he did okay. He was exceptional again, one-on-one against Zaza. He was actually good in the box. And I think actually that's about it. I didn't see much from Wojciech apart from that. Kept very quiet. Torino at the end of the game, towards the end of the game, last half hour or so, they were starting to realize that we need to seat. We need to sit down, sit back, and just hope for the best, because we don't have enough quality to score a second goal or to maintain the pressure that we had during the first half. So this has kind of allowed Wojciech to calm a little bit. So what do we give him, guys? He conceded, but I think that was vital stop from Wojciech on Simone Zaza. So I'll give him a 7. I liked it. I like the way he did it tonight. Unfortunately, of course, yeah, he conceded. So I never a fan of that. When goalkeepers concede, it's kind of always hard to rate them properly. But I think it was Buffon who said that many years ago, many moons ago. Gigi Buffon spoke of, if you allow, if you are actually making a save, that means that your defense is making a mistake. But they allowed that shot to be shot, basically to be struck. So yeah, that could very well be the case now with our defense and Wojciech. It's not Wojciech's fault that he was conceded, because it was our defending. Yeah. Let's see. 6.5, 6, 7 is too much. That's fine. Pirlo Taklis worked with number 9 to provide vertical movement and also to make space for Cristiano. Morata, you mean? 2-1-1-3. Kumar. Let's go that way. Yeah. But it's also not about Cristiano. This is not about Cristiano. This is about the team movement. And I think today it didn't work. It didn't work, of course. And to be quite honest, Morata didn't have that great game, especially first half against Dynamo Kiev. So to say that Pirlo Taklis work with Morata as well, it's just not. We're not there yet. I will want to see more of that, but of course it fits much better with Morata and Cristiano rather than Dybala and Cristiano. That is true. 7. Let's go to who do we go to? Let's go to Danilo. Didn't think he had a good game. Sloppy passing, poor passes at times. Also, this thing that he plays on the left side, it looked good up until now, but today he kind of got limited by that position, because, as I say, when you have a right footer on the left side, it kind of limits you to cross, to play in a comfortable position, to feel that you have other options rather than just cutting inside. I will show this again because I love this graphic. I love this app. So when Danilo is here, right? I don't know if you can see this. Yes, you can. So when you see Danilo here, he will always look in this direction. Okay, because he's a right footer. He will sometimes go this way, but very rarely. If he's playing here, okay, he will be more natural to go forward here, be more natural to go this way, because you can play the ball this direction, you can actually run inside, but you can actually use this position, right? You can also play to Cuadrado more comfortably. You could stretch, you could actually help Cuadrado so Cuadrado can push up. But why is Morata there, by the way? Morata didn't play. Get it off. Kulusevski. There we go. There you are, my boy. So Danilo if Danilo is here, he can stretch the defense. He can be one of those, playing 4-4-2. If we are playing 4-4-2, we don't. when we have the ball. And then Cuadrado can move forward, push a bit forward. This is what I think happened with Chiesa as well during the midweek against Dynamo Kiev, because he had, if I'm not mistaken, he had Demiral here. And Demiral is a right footer. So this kind of enabled him to get rid of the defensive tasks and rather just go forward. We're talking about Chiesa now against Dynamo Kiev. Yeah, so Danilo on the left side today. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to say. 6, perhaps. Yeah. It's difficult. It's difficult for me to rate. Well, a poor performance from the whole team and then just base it on a single player. But we will try. 6. Leonardo Bonucci scored. Well, so that automatically gives you one more score from me. That's how I roll. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough, but I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. It's good to be. It's good that actually he played full 90 and didn't get injured, because I'm tired of those injuries. You have Demiral injured, now Chiellini is injured, and Dragozin looks like to be re-signing a new deal with us. So hopefully he will be staying. So that's a good sign that he will be the 5th choice. Well, Chiellini should have been the 5th choice because he's always injured, but it is what it is. But Leonardo Bonucci gets a 7 from me. I think that's fair. I think that is fair. Also, Matthias de Ligt struggled against Andrea Belotti, but I think he stood his ground. He stood his ground, made some silly tackles here and there. Wasn't his game today, that's for sure. He wasn't his game. I think he got bullied by Belotti at times, but I think also he stood his ground. So I give him a 6.5. Bonucci gets a 7 just because he scored. Otherwise, it would have been a 6, plain 6. But Matthias de Ligt gets a 6.5 from me. I'm not saying he was bad, but I say he was challenged, and Belotti was absolutely on fire today. The only thing he lacked was a goal. Belotti was good today. So Matthias de Ligt struggled today, and that's totally fine. Totally fine. Pirlo, it's more exhausting as a player, very different as a coach. He said the same thing. He said a completely different thing last time. I say he said it's more exhausting to be a coach than a player. That's what he said a month ago or something. Very different as a coach, but the feelings vector is the same. Yeah. And there we go. Adam just quotes Pirlo there. Let's just go through. I like it. Thank you, Adam. We remembered after the break that the Juventus DNA is to put in heart and sacrifice. We remembered after the break. Oh. Yeah, you don't have to remember this. You know this as soon as you put on this shirt. You know this. You know, fino alla fine, Juve DNA, lo stile Juve, call it what you will. You need to be there from the get-go, not in freaking November. Oh, by the way, we're playing for Juve. We need to sacrifice. Bentancur, you've played here for 3 seasons now. Wake up already. It's just poor. It's just poor. We need to be more direct. We need to be pissing off people. Why are you not awake? Why are you not fino alla fine? Remember, do not give up. You run. You track back. Wake up. It's just, yeah. Yeah, sorry. Only you can pin Toro back once you can pin Toro back in the own half, it becomes easier to get the breakthrough. Well, yeah, that's what happened. So when opposition teams clam up, thanks Adam for this, by the way. When opposition teams clam up and are very organized, you have to keep moving the ball to create the spaces and stretch them out. We didn't do that in the first half. We did after a break. Why, Andrea? I'll tell you why. Because they are tired. Because they allowed us to do that. Not because we were suddenly becoming great in the second half. No, that's because they got tired. They were more compact. And they say this. Sarri said this. Pirlo is saying the same thing. In order to break down those teams who sit deep, you need to move the ball quicker. Well, why do you have Cuadrado in there then? Why do you have Bentancur in there then, who will always use 2-3 touches? Why you have Dybala in there, who will use always 2-3 touches more than he used to, more than he has to? We didn't do that into the first half. Well, yeah, they didn't climb up in the first half, my man. That's just a lie. They didn't climb up in the first half. In the first half, we were poor, period. Something changed in the second half because they were tired. If we lack heart, we don't move it as quickly either. Well, but Cuadrado is your captain because lack heart. You should have heart. I don't get it. It all comes together. Sometimes it's not simple to find a breakthrough just by creating a clean passing moves. You have to fight. Yes, that is something I agree on. That is something I agree on completely. You have to fight. But those, ball-loving merchants, they just hug the ball for too long. We need to play it faster. So Chiesa needs to be in there all the time. Because he's the one that is most direct out of all midfielders or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. If you're going to pass the ball around, you might just as well just appoint Sarri then again. You might just as well bring back Sarri if you're going to play the ball fast. Yeah. It's, no. When you lose every challenge, it becomes difficult to control the game. We were too static. We never filled the box when we did manage to find some width to push a cross in, and it's difficult against a 5-man defense. Well, there come the excuses again. We only became better once they got tired, once they allowed us to create. And basically, we didn't create that much. It was 2 crosses from Cuadrado that made it happen. That's it. Other than that, it was Chiesa being direct. But otherwise, we were flat. Daniel is in the chat. Great. Now it's really cooking. Pirlo, when you can't style your way through. What does it even mean? You have to find other ways. We don't have to move. We do have to move the ball more quickly. This is why you should not have Cuadrado in the team. If this is your objective, to move the ball faster, don't put Cuadrado in there. Please. Why? You might ask yourself, why? This guy is crazy. This guy talking nonsense. Cuadrado had 2 assists today. I will get to Cuadrado. But, guys, Cuadrado has 5 touches more than he used to. Than he has to. Play the ball, and when he doesn't have those 5 touches, he plays the ball and then he loses it. Because he's not that good at passing the ball from the first touch. Meaning, he needs to have 2-3 touches to control the ball, to assess the situation, to use 2 seconds. And 2 seconds are a long time in football. And then it's done. And then they are back in the position. Then they are regrouped. Then they are watching what Cuadrado is doing. That is done. Same goes for Bentancur. Too simple. 2 statics. Yeah. Cuadrado too slow, 2 assists. You can give him anything less than a 7. I haven't rated Cuadrado yet. Bentancur was very poor. Bentancur was very poor today. Pirlo didn't change him in 90 minutes. Yeah, I wonder what's happening with Arthur. I wonder what's happening with Arthur. I hope. Yeah, I hope there will be some questions asked for Pirlo directly. What's up with Arthur? But yeah, we're not going to get the answer we were hoping for sure. We are going to get some silly answer, yeah, he's arrived at Serie A for the first time. It takes time. He's coping with whatever it is he's coping with. He got the PlayStation 5, by the way, I saw. So that's probably the reason. He's just gaming with his buddy Douglas Costa, rather than focusing on the pitch and on the training sessions. I'm just joking, but yeah, it could very well be though. Yeah. All right, moving on. Danilo, Leonardo Bonucci, Matthijs de Ligt. Then let's go to the left side first, shall we? Before we absolutely destroy Cuadrado. Federico Chiesa. played on the left, as I predicted, even though that stupid graphic from the Juve official Twitter account or official social media account, they put Kulusevski on the left. Please stop looking at that. This is, I will show you this again because I love this app. I will show you this again. This is how we played. Chiesa on the left, Cuadrado on the right, Kulusevski in somewhere here, free roll, doing whatever he wants. Dybala, free roll. Cristiano way over here, or maybe somewhere here, or maybe even there sometimes. But Chiesa was the one playing on the left. Stupid to think otherwise. So Chiesa on the left, what did he do? He didn't do much, well, in terms of productive, but he tried. He tried, and he succeeded in stretching them, in stressing them, in being the direct, being as unpredictable as he could be. He didn't succeed with his dribbling. He got over-muscled tons of times. He got 2 men on him instead of just 1. But that's why he shouldn't play on the left, because when he cuts inside, he cuts straight into a packed area. So this is why I want him on the right. But on the left, he did okay. For me, he did okay, but he was one of the few positives in terms of being direct and not fooling around with the ball. So for some reason, and you could argue the point that's too high, but I'll give him a 7. Because I think he tried, and it was needed that he tried. It was needed that he was stretching them, stressing them. I think it was needed. If it was, I don't know, man. If it was Kulusevski on the left, like if graphics suggested, it would have been even worse. So, yeah, for me, Chiesa did great, but well, sorry, not great. He did okay. But this rating 7 out of 10 is based on the fact that he tried and helped other players, positioning and open up spaces. So yeah, 7. Let's see in the comment section, what are we doing here? Why the red card, Sarthak? To Pizzolio because the celebrations, I guess. Celebrations for the 2-1. And yes, you don't need to spam. You don't need to spam the chat. I answer your question right now. Why the red card? Because huge win. We suffered, but we got the results, says Ramadan. Yeah, huge win. Yes, we suffered. We just not only suffered, we played poorly. Barish, Juventus 0, Galatasaray 1 since 2013. Yes, I remember that game very well. I don't know why we're talking about this. Why? He obviously this guy's from Turkey, but yeah, okay. Whether I don't know, you butchered the pitch. Remember? Yeah. I don't think this is the game you should be bringing up. This was a farce that was allowed to happen, but that's for another day. 7 years ago, I remember the game very well. I even watched the stream from that game. That morning, the game got postponed because it was snowing in Turkey, of all places. And the next morning, there was also uncertainty whether it was to be played or not. And I was watching a stream of a webcam from the midtown of Istanbul to watch the weather. This is how crazy I am. I watched the weather forecast to see if the game was supposed to be played. And they played that game on an absolutely disaster pitch. But yeah, 7 years ago. 7 years ago. All right, moving on. Let's do this. Okay, I will rate him first. No, I will not rate him first. I will talk about this. I will roast the guy. No, I will not roast the guy. Let's be fair. Let's be honest. I'm not that stupid. I'm not that. I'm not a Cuadrado hater. So bear with me here. Cuadrado, player of 90 minutes. Okay, 90 minutes. He makes a mistake. He makes another mistake. He makes another mistake. That's 3, 4, or 5 mistakes in space of first 20-30 minutes. Okay, that's what he does. when he makes that mistake, especially that mistake when Simone Zaza and Andrea Bellotti, if I'm not mistaken, were all alone against De Ligt, I think, 2 against 1 basically, because Cuadrado screwed up. Okay, this is the facts. This is fact. This is not me hating on Cuadrado. These are facts. Okay. Then we go to the second half. So based on the first half, he played crap. He was useless. Okay. And then there came also poor crosses, and then came the second half. Okay. Out of nowhere, up until that very moment, he played crap. I didn't expect much from the guy from the starting point, but he didn't prove me anything either. Up until that point. That point was the goal that was disallowed. So he scored, but he scored only because Lianco, the defender of Torino, was blocked by Bonucci. So Lianco couldn't make that block for the Cuadrado shot. Okay? Meaning the goal would never happen if Lianco was allowed to block that. Okay? But I grant him he scored. Fine. Okay. Out of nowhere, he was on the edge of the box, totally unmarked. He went for the shot. And guys, remember, when Cuadrado goes for a shot, it's very, very rarely he gets to score, right? Well, remember his constant stupid decisions towards the end of in the final third. He blasts the ball over the bar and whatever. But he loves to score against Torino. He scored some goals against Torino for sure. And this one was no exception. It was a good goal. Unfortunately for us, it was offside, and it wasn't offside. Bonucci was in offside position, but the goal never would have been there in any case because Lianco was blocked by Bonucci. So that's what happened. So that basically changed nothing for me, you know. It was still very inconsistent Cuadrado up until that point. Then we go to the goal from McKennie. Good run from McKennie. Do not take anything away from McKennie. Remember, there was a good run. And after, I say this again, WhoScored.com, I didn't count them, but according to WhoScored.com, and I trust those guys according to the stats, 9 crosses, only 2 successful ones. Strangely enough, both of them are assists. But at the end of the day, there was an assist. So the first cross that he made was an assist to McKennie, which was a good assist. So he gets 1 assist from me, okay? From that point. Then we move even further into the game. Torino are tired. Torino are compressing, as you saw during the in the chat also. Pirlo talked about this as well. When they got so crowded, it became much easier for them to play the ball. Meaning, it became much easier for Cuadrado to pick out a good cross. And when you have 4 players in the box who are dying to hit that header, of course you're gonna cross. And that was a good cross. I'm not taking away the cross, but it's not that impressive. I say Cuadrado's cross to Morata against Ferencvaros 1.5 weeks ago was more impressive than this cross. Okay? That's it. Apart from those 2 crosses and the offside goal, there was nothing to scream about. He didn't create much for us. He stopped a lot of attacks, as I said previously. We have players in the middle who tend to touch the ball way too many times. Bentancur, Cuadrado, Dybala, and so on. So they stop the play. Cuadrado is one of them. So this is not a good thing from Cuadrado. But for some reason, fans are forgetting about this. They're forgetting about those bad things that happened, only focusing on those 2 assists. And there was also a comment in my Twitter feed that, you know, he can make as many crosses as he wants as long as he hits 2 assists. Well, that's just bad logic, my friend, because then you're basically saying that if he has 20 crosses and 18 of them are bad, which basically allows Torino to regroup and attack at us. But that's okay, as long as there are 2 assists. I mean, and it's very, very rarely we get 2 assists from the crosses in the same game from the same player. And only 2 successful crosses are assists. It's a rarity. So that what happened today was a very rarity. This was Colombian Candreva tonight. He crossed and crossed and crossed and crossed, and in the end, he hit the target. 9 crosses, only 2 successful. What do I give him? And I'm not even looking at the comment section right now because I see that coming in, pouring in, probably roasting me and calling me clueless. But you know what? It's just my opinion. You have to either roll with it or don't roll with it. I don't care. But I see the things in the full 90 minutes. Okay, if a player plays crap but he scores, it doesn't mean that it doesn't justify me giving him a 10 out of 10. No. Cristiano being a good example. I will get back to Cristiano. Start cooking your popcorn. Stop making your popcorn, by the way. But for Cuadrado, 2 assists, 7. Strangely enough, I will give him a 7, yes. But look at the bigger picture. Not just focus on the positives, focus also on the negatives. And this is what I'm saying. To summarize, Juan Dancing Feet Cuadrado is inconsistent, period. Okay, I don't hate on Cuadrado. I'm only saying he's inconsistent. And do I want an inconsistent player in my team when I know Chiesa is dying to play on the right flank? I'm glad I'm not Andrea Pirlo. I'm glad I'm not the coach of Juve, to be quite honest. Okay. Sarthak is really up his copy pasting here. I love this. Maybe it's time Pirlo should use 3-4-3-3. I've been screaming for this, Kalangu. I've been screaming for this formation. Yeah, it could very well work. I hope this will work if we choose to accept this, but I don't think so. I don't think that we will. We are very fixed on whatever is happening right now, so let's just keep it that way. 4-3-3, yeah, but where do you leave Dybala then? Well, as a bench player for Morata, I guess, because Dybala doesn't work very well in 4-3-3, in my opinion. But then again, I don't know. This team will not work with Ronaldo, Dybala at all. Yeah, we talked about this, Manoj. Yes. If Szczesny didn't save the shot from Zaza, it would have been a different game. That is also a good point. Who was a player who lost the ball that allowed Zaza to go 1-on-1 against Szczesny? Can somebody please let me know? I want to roast that player. In the final third, Cuadrado seems to solve math equations and seems too confused. I love this. Yeah, it certainly looks that way. Doesn't know what to do, then obviously he passes backwards. Yes. And this is a fact. This is a fact. We've been screaming about this for 3, 4, 5 seasons now. And the same thing goes basically every time he has the ball. He needs to think before he does whatever. And it's a good thing for sure, but sometimes it just takes 1 second too long. Texas boy McKenny is the one not afraid to get physical in the middle. Yeah. Mini Arthur. Mini Arturo Vidal, from prime years. Yeah. Thank you, Mirgan. I know you're joking. Yeah. Hakan Çalhanoğlu to versus Juventus. What does it even mean? To Juventus, maybe. Yeah, by the way, it could very well happen that Hakan Çalhanoğlu might actually arrive. At Juve, and it will be interesting. I'm not one of those guys who just say, "Oh, this will be crap." And I'm not saying that Hakan Çalhanoğlu precisely. Let me just highlight that comment. Versus Juventus, this is wrong. Probably to Juventus, that's what it means. But this would be interesting type of player. The one thing I want right now, is a player who is injury free, who is not injured that much, who can create from the midfield into attack, and who knows how to do that in Serie A, because it's a completely different animal in Serie A. Hakan Çalhanoğlu might not be the answer. Kulusevski looks like not to be the answer to that question. And then you have Dybala. up in the air. Up in the air. Yeah. I think Cuadrado might be wrong. RB comes on the case. I want to know, guys, who was the player who lost the ball when Zaza went 1-on-1 against Wojciech Szczesny? Lukaku scores again for Merda. Yeah. Strange things, huh? Strange things. Lukaku was absolutely crap. Lukaku was absolutely crap for Manchester United. He goes to Merda. Conte uses him as a focal point going forward because that's what he is. I think actually Merda are very, very, very average team without him. So he's a beast. He's the guy who's bullying the defenders. He will always do that. And this is why he scores. This is why he's so good right now. But would I accept him? Would I accept him into Juve? Hypothetically, I don't know. We were in the run for this guy. But then it ended up being too expensive. John Burns, love the channel. Thank you, John. Where were your thoughts? What were your thoughts on the new Jeep logo? Well, this is not a new Jeep logo. I think this is just the only promotion of their new 4x4 car or something. So it is actually the same Jeep logo, but yeah. I may be wrong, but I just feel that this is just like a promo for their special brand, the special car that is about to roll out or something. Who should be our target in transfer window, Sarthak? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We need to fix whatever we have right now because we will struggle to offload the players. So if we're even getting even more players into the mix, I don't know. We need to if we are getting somebody, it needs to be somebody who can strengthen us from day one. I don't want to see a signing that we're signing just for the future. No, we will ease him in. We'll take our time. No, we don't need that. I don't need that. We don't have the time for that. We need to win now. Maybe Hakan Çalhanoğlu will arrive I don't know. I'm not saying he's the answer, but he might arrive. Yeah. What about Dybala missed from the cross by Cuadrado? By Cristiano? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was a good cross, by the way. That was a good cross from Cristiano. Yes, it was. And it was an equally bad miss from Dybala. Yes, it was. Aouar. Aouar. Keep talking about Aouar. Guys, you keep talking about Aouar, but I don't know. I'm not so sold on the guy. But let's move again. Let's move forward, shall we? Rodrigo Bentancur. What do we give him, guys? What do we give him? I to be quite honest, guys, I saw some promise in him against Dynamo Kiev because I think he got clear instructions what to do because McKennie was there to bounce. McKennie was the one who bounces off him, basically. But now it was Rabiot. And again, I've said this many, many times before. Rabiot and Bentancur don't work together. They don't work together, so please stop. But he fielded them again without McKennie, without Arthur to compensate. So it doesn't work because there are no clear instructions between those two. Or if there are, they are not very good at following the instructions. As for Bentancur's case, I think his mentality is weak. I don't see the grinta. I don't see the fighting spirit. I don't see the confidence. Maybe this is a confidence player. As soon as he gets the confidence, he will be playing good. But I mean, we've seen Bentancur play well. We've seen Bentancur what he can do. Right now, he cannot do that in a two-man midfield. So this is another question. Is the two-man midfield good enough for us? Do we need to use it in a two-man midfield? 4-3-3 sounds like a more probable formation for Bentancur to succeed in because he will be bouncing off two guys now instead of one. But as you can see, and let me show you, I just don't buy shirts just for buying shirts. I buy the shirts because I love the player. I like the player. So I like Bentancur. I hope he succeeds. But it looks like this is a confidence issue, and he is too confused with the formation and with a two-man pivot, and he doesn't know what to do when Rabiot is next to him. With Weston McKennie in there during the midweek against Dynamo Kiev, of course, different opposition, different players, different aspects. In Champions League, you have to kind of be more offensive if you want to gain points, because there are only 6 games. So this is why the game against Dynamo Kiev were more open than it was against Torino. Torino kind of were more tactical game instead of Dynamo Kiev game. So this is why maybe Bentancur was more visible and got more space to work with against Dynamo Kiev, and because, of course, Weston McKennie was in the mix. So maybe Bentancur and McKennie works better. May very well be. But poor. Today, poor. Again, and not the guy I would trust again if we are in the same situation, meaning Rabiot playing. If Rabiot is playing, Bentancur should not be playing. If Rabiot is playing, Bentancur should be playing only if there is a 3-man midfield, in my opinion. So Bentancur, Rabiot, and Arthur. Or maybe even McKennie. Bentancur, Rabiot, and McKennie. 5 for me. Yeah. Did he even play for France? Rabiot, yes, he did. 5. Let's go to where is this guy? Well, let's go to Rabiot then. Buddy Opel. Rabiot, also a guy that was disappointing. Today was slipping in the first half, and I don't know. It's just it wasn't there for him. So just to cut it short, guys, I don't want to analyze Rabiot because there was nothing to analyze. I expected much more from the guy. I also give him 5 at the max. I also give him a 5. Dinesh, hi. Wow. Dinesh from Sri Lanka is in the chat. From Facebook. Yes, I'm live on Facebook, by the way, also on Twitch. If anybody on Twitch is watching, please say hi. And of course, YouTube. But this guy is actually watching me on Facebook. Very nice. Dinesh, your opinion on the game? Juve against Torino, we won 2-1. Not so sure if it was deserved. Juve Daily, by the way, isn't there. We did not deserve to win. Wow. You could say that. But then again, we fight until the end. Fino alla fine. So, yeah. And there was this comment here. I really want to see that comment again. This one. One thing I really analyze that Roman hates Ronaldo, whereas he scores or not, but his role has totally changed now. Please cross to goal. I don't hate Cristiano. I've said it many, many times. I don't hate Cristiano. I rate Cristiano as the way I say I rate all other players. Fair. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I think I have to say about in this case. Rabiot, then let's go Kulusevski. Kulusevski, still poor, still nothing, contributing nothing. Maybe gets in the way of Dybala, or Dybala gets in the way of Kulusevski. It's all around that, and it's in the mix. It's basically a big mess going forward. And, well, to all Cristiano fans, he suffers because of Kulusevski and Dybala misunderstanding, and well, they don't know what to do going forward, basically. And Cristiano maybe suffers because of that. And of course, the team itself as a whole suffers from it, as we saw today. Again, Kulusevski is one of those guys who loves to touch the ball, loves to use it, loves to play with it, loves to do not like to play the ball unless he absolutely has to. And in a big club against smaller sides, when smaller sides will be tracking back and will be basically very compact in defense, this is when you need to play safe and quick, but not safe but quick. With Kulusevski is just safe, it seems, and low on confidence as well. As I said, I don't know what happened to him with his shoulder. I hope he's okay, of course, but yeah, it's I'm sorry to say The whole midfield was crap today. 5 for Kulusevski, 5 for Rabiot, 5 for Bentancur. Nothing, flat. I will still believe in the guy. I will still support the guy as I will to every single player. But yeah, I see nothing. They keep disappointing me. You know, when I start watching the game, I think, oh, now is the day Kulusevski will surprise us. Now is the day that Cuadrado will actually be consistent. Now is the day that Morata will play full 90 and scoring and banging. Now is the game that Dybala will score and finally unleash himself. But they keep disappointing me. Kulusevski is one of those guys as well. Keep disappointing me. Stop that. Give me a 7. Give me an 8, Kulusevski, please. Yeah. Will the real Slim Shady from Sweden please stand up? And then we go to Paulo Dybala. Buckle up. What about Isco? Isco. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I wanted Isco many years ago. Maybe it's too late now. The GOAT XX07. It's because Kulusevski isn't fit in the formation. He should be more cut inside winger instead of a box-to-box winger. Well, if he's cut inside, what do you mean by cut inside winger? You mean cutting inside because from the right? Well, that's what he does. That's what Dybala does, at least. That's what he did for Parma. So that's what I'm saying. Dybala and Kulusevski cannot work together because their attributes basically make them their attributes allowing them to be best at the same position. So Kulusevski should be a substitution for Dybala or the other way around, if that's to be the case. But both of them cannot be on the pitch at the same time. It just doesn't work. Paulo Dybala. Yeah, we've talked about this yesterday. We talked about this after the game against Dynamo Kiev. We expect something. From him. We hope he scores. We hope he delivers. We're still waiting. It's still pending. I'm still updating. You know, the Windows update is still there. And, you know, this, or in the Mac, I'm using Mac. So, you know, this round wheel, the waiting wheel, I don't know what you call it, the color wheel just keeps spinning. This is Dybala right now. He's spinning. I'm waiting for an update, for a software update for Dybala. It just doesn't happen. It's still pending. And it frustrates the crap out of me because not only because I like Dybala on a personal level, because I think he's a great guy. Well, he's taking things seriously. He's a professional. You know, he fought to get back into the team. He actually won the MVP last season. Whether it was deserved or not, it's another matter. He provided tons of assists. He scored for us a lot in the earlier stages of his Juve career. But now something has changed. You know, something stopped. And he doesn't seem to unleash it, whether it is because of the formation, because of his basically lack of form, maybe because of his low confidence, or maybe it's a mixture of all things. But the fact is, he played crap today. He did. He was, again, hiding on the right side towards the end of the game. He did not contribute enough. He had one pass to Chiesa, but that's it. So, by that logic, if we're looking for positives for Paulo Dybala right now, if we are looking for positives, I'm thinking, so Dybala has a run in front of him and he made a good pass to Dybala. So maybe we should exploit that. Maybe we should work on that a bit more. But when we actually start Dybala, let's say behind two strikers, and he plays crap, then we are back to square one. Then we're wondering, okay, where Dybala can play now? We can't work with this. He is too deep. You know, he's not physical enough. And of course, we have to mention that he got tackled quite a bit of times. Maybe there should be a red card there somewhere. But that doesn't change the fact that it doesn't help Dybala's case, that he gets tackled all the time. And then he needs to work on avoiding those tackles or doing something when he's actually on the ground, or, well, on his feet and stays on his feet. I'm waiting for you, Dybala. I'm waiting. But it's nothing. It's flat again, and we just have to call it like it is. We cannot praise the guy who played badly. It's just unfair. It's unfair to those guys who played badly and will be criticized for playing badly. And I'm not stupid. Of course, I see it as all you guys see it. It's just not there. It's not there for Dybala. So again, another poor performance. 5.5 for me. Maybe even a 5, maybe a 6. It's just between there. But yeah, it's anonymous. That would be my best description of today's performance from Dybala. Not crap in terms of being absolutely horrible, because, well, bad touches, bad passes. He had some of those, yes, but he wasn't entirely hopeless. But it was just anonymous. And of course, one cross that was absolutely horrible. It's inconsistent. Also, you can use whatever adjective you want to use. I want to use anonymous. 5.5 for me. It's all on Pirlo, not on Dybala. There we go. Daniel, let's highlight this one. It's not only on Pirlo, it's also on Dybala. It's a mixture. Dybala, I mean, you get the ball. You are a football player. You're a professional football player. When you get the ball, you pass the ball. You don't pass it well, so you miss pass. You don't connect with your teammate. It's not down to Pirlo's tactics. It's just basically basic skills, basic skill set. So this is why I think this is low on confidence. This is also because of he is not confident enough to make that killer pass, to make the shot, to make the killer pass that we need him to make. He waits with the ball for too long. Yeah, it's not all on Pirlo, because at the end of the day, they need to share the blame. At least I'll say Pirlo is at times at fault, yes, but at the end of the day, you need to play him somewhere, right? And now we're trying him. We're trying him with Cristiano. This season it doesn't work. It worked last season. Okay, this season it doesn't work. So maybe Pirlo needs to realize that we need to move him somewhere else. Maybe we should play him just behind the strikers. Okay, let's try that. But I just don't see it happen. I just don't see it happening. But when Dybala is playing, I expect him to play well. At least try to do something consistently. But it's just very, very poor. It's very, very poor, out of form, and that's the way it is. Pirlo should play Dybala on the right. Well, you could argue the case that he already plays him on the right, because he's always hiding on that right flank and cutting inside, especially towards the end of the game. And Kulusevski striker. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Kulusevski and Dybala cannot work together. They cannot. And Pirlo's Juve is starting to look more and more like Sarri's Juve. Well, I hope that's not too true. Yeah. Pirlo gave him almost full 90 minutes to come back to his form and contribute. Yeah. But again, what do you do? What do you do when you have only three players as strikers? Morata, Cristiano, and Dybala. And Morata is suspended. Of course you're going to use Dybala all the way up there. Because you have to, because you have no other option. So, I mean, Dybala has played there before. We've been screaming for Dybala playing closer to goal. He does that now. Well, according to the formation, no matter how crazy that is. But still, he kind of manages to drop deep. And this leaves basically no clean striker all the way up front. So this is why probably Morata is a better choice going all the way forward, all the way up front rather than Dybala, because Morata will stay up forward and be that direct player that we need him to be. So yeah, 5.5. All right, let's move on from Paulo Dybala and go to this guy. I'm sure you've heard of him, Cristiano Ronaldo. Buckle up. It's not gonna be that crazy, you know how it is. With the Cristiano, it's poor again. Was not on today, not his game today. Chiesa and Cristiano were occupying pretty much the same space. Chiesa cutting inside, but Cristiano was already there, and Cristiano and Chiesa kind of made a meal out of a lot of things. And sometimes when Cristiano drifts in the center of the of their opposition's box, it also gets kind of crowded in there, and Cristiano needs to be some inhuman in order to make something out of that. Because when you have 3 or 4 guys around, it's very difficult to create anything. But it doesn't automatically mean that Cristiano played a great game, because he didn't. And it's fine in terms of the whole team cohesion and understanding from the team. This is fine, because I want to see somebody else score. And we did McKennie. How often does McKennie score? Bonucci. So they can actually score goals without Cristiano. But, of course, with Cristiano maybe on form, maybe a bit better positioned, we would have made it much easier today in terms of the scoring sheet. But performance will still be crap for the team, because the midfield will still be crap whether Cristiano plays well or not. The right wing will still be an issue whether Cristiano plays good or not. The defense will still be in trouble because, well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't help the case. And for Cristiano, it was not his day today. Let's face it. And that's it. I mean, it's anonymous, and it wasn't bad performance. It was anonymous. And of course, he lost the ball count of times, and was not on today. 6. And this is what I give Cristiano. He had one great. This is why I just bump him just a little bit, because I think he had some great. He was one cross to Dybala. I don't understand how Dybala missed that. I think it was a great block. On the line from Torino defender that allowed, that basically made that Dybala didn't score. But overall, it was just flat from Cristiano. And as I said, it's not the issue. Let's not make a big deal out of that, because the whole team as a unit played crap. And of course, being Chiesa and Cristiano playing so tight together did not help the case. This is why also I'm saying put Chiesa on the right. And please start using a left footer on the left flank. It's 5.5. 6 or 5.5. Yeah, it's 6.5. It's 6 or 5.5. It's exactly the same. Poor again. Yes. Avinash, I'll say it was poor, because it was poor and anonymous. We just have to call it like it is. And that's it. So not every time Cristiano needs to play well in order for us to win, and that's also an important factor to play in. Torino man was playing with 5 defenders, so yes, they did. Towards the end of the game, yes, they did, because they were tired. So forget Cristiano on the wings. He must be used properly in the box. You could make the case for there, yes, but I don't know. I think the first game when Cristiano arrived at Juve, it was against Chievo, if I'm not mistaken, or yes, I think it was something like that. And we struggled. We won 3-2 in the end, but Cristiano played as a prima striker. And after that game, they suddenly changed it up because Cristiano felt that this was hard. He even said so himself. It's much harder to score in Serie A than it is in La Liga. He said so himself. So after that game, after the couple of those games, he started scoring. But then he suddenly, after that Allegri season, he switched on to the left. That was Cristiano's. I don't know if it was Cristiano's choice or it was Sarri's choice. But at the end of the day, it ended up to be that way. He was on the left, cutting inside always, and he just stayed there. He loves to play on the left. We know this. If you watch the games with Cristiano every single time, you know that he's starting from the left, but then he drifts inside to cut inside, to shoot. That's what he does. And of course, at the end of those crosses from the right, he will be there in the box. He'll be waiting for those crosses as well. But if we keep Cristiano in the box, it will never happen because he will still roam around. We cannot. This is how big of a player he is. He will just do whatever he thinks is best for him, and usually that's what also best for the team, but not always. So I don't think we can ask Cristiano to just stay in the box. He will be starting from the left, cutting inside. My toddler boy is more physical than Ramsey. Well, yeah, may very well be. Very well. Yeah. I live in Italy and play football. Even me myself know this league is very hard to score. Yeah, Italians has always been very focused on defending. It's always been that way throughout centuries. So yeah, it is what it is. If Cristiano plays left, Chiesa needs to be on the right. They're lacking space. Oof. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. Yeah, I agree completely with you. Yes. I'm sorry, your name is too long. Your username is just too crazy. But yeah, I agree completely. That cross was out of nowhere, just standing. Yes, there was a great cross from Cristiano. It was indeed. I don't think the problem was Ronaldo. It's about connection with the midfield. Oh, no doubt. But that doesn't excuse Ronaldo for being average today. Of course, our main issue is defense and the tactics from Pirlo. Cristiano is Cristiano, and Cristiano is a single player. So of course I'm gonna rate them. This is why it's called player ratings, team rating. Overall, we can also argue the case that we should do the team rating, and that would be very poor. It would be maybe 5, maybe even 4, because you can have 11 good players, but they need to play well in total. So it's strange. It's strange that Benevento actually were a better team than us in many aspects of the game when we drew the game against them 1-1, because they had a unit. They knew how to play together. We didn't, even though we had superstars all over the pitch. Without Cristiano, though. So, yeah, without Cristiano, we should have beaten them. No question. Yeah. All right, so Cristiano gets a 6, and then we get then we got Alexandro in there. Didn't impress me that much. Also was very poor. He was one of those 3 men in the defense, which I also didn't understand why he played so well on the left side. Why? But then again, of course, in hindsight, if you were to switch off Chiesa instead of and then sub on Alexandro, okay, fine. But then if you stay with Chiesa, you should move Chiesa on the right, and then you would sub off Cuadrado. Then you would never see that cross that made it 2-1. So yeah, it's a combination of all things. I say that Alexandro played just average and back to his usual self. And then we had McKennie, energy in the midfield. I like that. And then not much more. Well, Ramsey also was in there, and Bernardeschi towards the end of the game. But really nothing that excites me. It was flat. Overall, it was flat. It was poor. It was disappointing. We end up winning, my friends. We end up winning the game somehow because of those 2 good crosses from Cuadrado. But we still have work to do. We still have a lot of issues. And upwards and onwards next time is against Barcelona. It will be a crazy game. With or without Messi, I don't know. I do not care. Whether we win or not, if we even win, we're not going to win the group, because we're not going to win with 3-0 or big goal with big scoring numbers. It's not going to happen. Against Barca, whether it's Cristiano against Messi, okay, fine. But it's more of about, for me, it's just getting the better of the performance from the team itself. So what I want to see at the Barcelona game, whatever that is, if it's crap, just get it out of your system against Barca, and then start with fresh legs, fresh mind, and confidence, and fino alla fine attitude against Genoa next weekend, because that game is far more important to us than the Barca game. It's fun. It's fun playing against Barca, but this is the last game in the group stage. We already qualified. We will not be winning the group. I highly doubt that what's going to happen. So should we use our strengths? Should we use should we go all out against Barca? No, I don't think so. But then again, this is Pirlo. This is a work in progress for the guy. this is the perfect opportunity for him to play against a quality opposition without having the pressure to perform. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see who he feels. That also, that also is interesting. I hope Milan lose. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's more about us, It's more about how we play rather than what's happening in the other end. And Barca currently are down to Cadiz, or whatever the name is, 1-0 away. Merda is leading 2-0 against Bologna. Lukaku scored 1, and halftime. Who scored the other one? The other one. Uploading, waiting. Hakimi from all people. Well, there we go. Yeah. I don't care about Merda. I don't care about Milan. I want us to perform. I want us to improve. And you know what? I want Pirlo to succeed because I'm sick and tired of this rotation of coaches. I think Pirlo needs to get his act together to find out what's best for Dybala, what's best for our Juve side, most importantly. At the end of the day, it's Juve I care about more than I care about Dybala, more than I care about Cristiano, more than I care about Chiesa. Juve need to win consistently and perform consistently. That's the key. Everything else is a bonus. All right, Barca won't park the bus, so I think we will have chances. We better take them and be solid at the back. Will be interesting. Very, very interesting. So we'll see what happens, guys. Thank you so much for joining this stream. As always, nice to talk to you. Nice to vent a little bit. We can agree and disagree. At the end of the day, we are Juve fans, and we want what's best for Juve. I really hope so. If you watch this stream through Twitch or Facebook, smash a like, or I don't know what you do on Twitch anyway. Don't know. I'm a rookie. But never mind. Follow me on Twitter, of course, Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to this very channel, please. Let's grow the numbers, because at 2,000 subscribers, there will be another giveaway. We just did the 1K giveaway. 2K giveaway coming up as soon as 2,000 subscribers are on my list, basically. Yes. Last question. Okay, we'll do last question from Lincoln. Do you think we should stop using 2 midfielders? Yes, I do. 3 men in the midfield, please. That's what I would go for. But yeah, we could also do the other thing. I don't know. But right now, 2-man midfield doesn't work. At least that's what we are working with right now. We saw that McKennie and Bentancur are working together against Dynamo Kiev. Whether that means that we work as a 2-man midfield, I don't know. I don't think so. No, I think this was just the case of being in the Champions League. PS5 giveaway for 2 subscribers. I don't have the PS5. But yeah, if it will be a 2 million, that will be something else. But I don't think that. I don't think that's more of a case of being Champions League, Dynamo Kiev, that Bentancur and McKennie played good together in a midfield. But today it sucked again with a 2-man midfield. So maybe we should actually scrap that and try something else. So McKennie and Bentancur against Dynamo Kiev. Now it's Rabiot and Bentancur, which clearly isn't working. So, yeah. But that's the topic for Pirlo and his coaching team. We are just fans and sitting here in our couches. We are not in the stadium. We do not follow them live, unfortunately, which pisses me off, because then those players would hear it directly from the stands that they are inconsistently. They are consistent and they are useless at times. So then maybe they get their heads together. Yeah, that's it. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you to Old, Miriam, Sabadeep, Willie, and many, many others. Lincoln as well. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, and we'll see you on Tuesday against Barca right after the game, we will be doing La Panchina, meaning there'll be a watch along. Maybe we will do it live on the La Panchina YouTube channel. We'll see. Not so sure about that just yet. If not, just please check out the La Panchina YouTube channel, because they did. Unfortunately, I'm not with them today, but they did the Juve against Torino La Panchina video, so it will be uploading during the next 48 hours, hopefully. All right, fino alla fine, forza Juve, and have a